tournament is one of them, is very, very strict about setting penalty points. If you don't come, if you're 15 minutes late, usually you lose 1 extra point. And here we go. They're sitting down to the table. That's Wilcox in your picture on the left and Hans wearing the red shirt. And Wilcox will be at the bottom of the screen with the white checkers.
Good match. Good match.
They shake hands. Good sportsmanship. I have not seen a single display of bad sportsmanship the entire week here. And by the way, I played in Monte Carlo for years and major tournaments for years. Years ago, I would say the sportsmanship was nowhere near the level that it is now, and I give credit to the top players for that. People like Mochi set the bar very, very high for really being gentlemen and good sports and gentlemen and ladies. Okay, opening roll, standard 5-4 play with a split, 5-2. Again, not much you can do here. You don't want to hit off the ace point. 4-1. I love making the anchor, even though you have to leave the blot. Once you make it's called the golden point. When you make your opponent's 5 point, it's worth gold. You're never going to get gammon, probably, and you're never going to get primed, probably. I use the word never and probably together a lot, don't I? Okay, 5-1. Almost always you're hitting your opponent off of your 5 or 4 point. You just don't want him to anchor there, and you want to make that point. You're not favored to get hit back. For example, here he didn't get hit back, and his odds of making his 5 point are very high with a 1, 3, or an 8. And a double 5 also makes it. The one, I don't see another play than what he just did. Yeah, he could have come from the back, but he wants to scooch up because he's likely to make that 5 point. See, you always make the 5 point here. Never misses all those rolls. And, of course, this is a very bad number that he's forced to leave that blot and have to make the lousy 2 point instead. And he's punished. So, off the bat, and by the way, all of this gets put into the best backgammon software called Extreme Gammon, and it will measure not only the skill level of both players, but also the luck factor, who got luckier and by how much, which I generally ignore because I don't want to know if I was lucky or unlucky. All I care about is how badly I played, what I did wrong, and what the heck am I going to do to correct that in the future. I've only been playing for 70 years, and I'm going to get there soon. I'm 77 years old, and I think my game is on the upswing. In another 77 years, I'll be damn good. All right, 5-2. Hitting is almost always right in these positions, but again, you don't want to give your opponent too many checkers back too soon. You'll make a good double anchor game here, or possibly a back game. But when your points are up high, we don't even call it a back game. It's a multiple anchor game. For example, if he were to make the 4 point here, pretty rotten roll. Not much you can do with it. Comes in and comes down or comes out. I'm not sure which I would do, but I like coming in on the ace to make it harder for your opponent to go behind you because he's losing the race. So I like that play. It's an action play. And, you're not afraid to get hit. So Wilcox is going to hit him and stack like crazy. He's not happy about that. We call those candlesticks. And he likes that one. He likes having that point down low. That's his point of last defense. 5-1, you make the outside point, but he better perform soon, because this is what we call a very brittle position for Wilcox. He's very, very likely to leave shots from here. He's got to roll 4-2 or doubles or 5-3. He's almost sure. There's his 5-3. That's what he was hoping for, to unstack and make a point. Now it's a matter of timing. By the way, I think the 1-5 back game is the worst. I don't think there's anything worse, and I think the computer pretty much agrees with me on that. So his goal is not to sit here and play the 1-5 back game. He wants to come off that ace point. I would come off it very soon if I could, or maybe come off the 5 point. It's too disconnected to be, when you hit the shot, you're stuck on the ace point if you hit with the high checkers. And if you have to come off the 5, you just don't have that good a game. So this is not an ideal game. He would much rather have a 2-5 game than a 1-5 game. Obviously, Will is winning here, but not enough to give the cube. It's just too much power to give your opponent in such a volatile position where you're so likely to leave shots. And here's a good case in point. Oh, he got away with it. He's going to cover. And again, how does Will bring this home without leaving shots? And again, he doesn't worry that much about getting hit here. Actually, getting hit might help his timing some. And if you are Will and you roll a 3, you're not going to hit unless it's the right 3. I would eschew the hit. But there's an excellent roll. He gets to safety, makes one of the best next point he can make. Now he's got to think about the cube. And I like giving the cube here, and he did instantly. And I'm not sure I like taking it. As I told you, I don't like a 1-5 backgammon, and this one doesn't have great timing. He is very, very likely to get a shot, but when he misses it, he's through. And if he has to get the shot from the 5 point to hit, he's still got 2 checkers stuck on the ace. So this could be a pass at this score. I honestly don't know if I take it or pass it. I know what I do. If I'm playing Wilcox, I have to gamble. That's the only chance I have, so I would pass it. But assuming you're a much better player, which I believe Hans is, I don't know if he's much better, but he's got a hell of a reputation, so he's probably better than me. He probably is closer to an even match than I would be with Will. He may take this cube. I drop it like a rock, only because part of my religion is not to play a 1-5 back game. So I drop this cube. But the one thing I'm sure of is it's a great double. All right, he's going to have to get a shot and hit it, and there's no question he's going to get that shot, but he better hit it. 5-3, here's the shot immediately. Okay, now let's say he rolls the 1 and hits it. He's not gin, but it certainly would justify the take. Lovely. Now here's my point. How do you play the 5? You can't come off your 5-point acre, and any other 5 is lousy. So you might have to look at the gamble that he takes if he comes out. I would slot. I would play to the 3-point and slot. He plays it more safely. You get gammoned a lot less with this play. That's my play. I'm hoping he doesn't roll a 3. That's my best chance to win. Again, I wish I had the XG in front of me and I could tell you for sure what's right. This looks very scary to me. There's 1-6, 3. Okay, he made this play. He's playing. This is a very, very big. I think this is a bigger play than slotting. And he gets away with it. And again, after hitting and making a big play, he still doesn't have a recube because of this position. That's a great play. He's going to come around. Will better perform now. This is a big roll right here. He needs a 1 or a 3. And he dances. Now I really like Hans's position enough to recube to 4. And my gut is that he's going to pass this. Your take points at this level is still pretty much close to what it is for money. His take points around 21. And he took it. And if he took it, it's probably right. I come up with let's see. You have to make the bar is better than the 8-point because the bar blocks both the 1 and the 3. If you make the 8-point, you're only blocking him on the 3. So that's a must. The question is, where's the 1? And I think my 1 is from 6 to 5. That's for sure to me, and that's my play right there that he's doing from 6 to 5. Okay, one of the people watching said it's a big cube and a small drop. So I'm vindicated a little bit because I would have dropped that cube. I think you're talking about the initial cube and not the recube, but the recube I'm really not sure. I probably would have passed the recube too, but if Wilcox took it, I would not bet. I would never bet against Wilcox, Mochi, Victor. Those are the main ones. Yep, comes up. That's very critical. Wilcox needs to perform very quickly with a 3. That's a 3. That's a 3. You got to come up. You can't stay back on that ace point. It's dangerous, but risk and reward. That's what the game is all about. All right, this is a real good question. Do you hit loose or do you make a 5 prime? Hitting loose has a lot more danger to it, but now if he rolls a 6, you're toast. This is again, I think I'm proving the way it plays out. You don't like a 1-5 back game. That's where it all started. You hit, you have 11 threes plus 1 2 plus 1 6 all hit you. So 11, 12, 13, 15 rolls. 18 would be 50%. So here there's only 11 rolls that really hurt you, all the sixes. So you're giving him 11 good rolls instead of 15 good rolls, and the 15 good rolls where he hits you are killers. So I think this has got to be the right play for that reason. It's pure math, and there's not one of these players at this level that can't do that kind of math over the board very quickly. All right, that is a killer roll. He comes out with 2, or he certainly got to come out with at least 1. I would come out with both. Yep. All right, Will. You need a 1. And I'm not rooting for Will. I'm just saying I'm rooting for both of them. I really am neutral here, although I've become very good friends with Will. I post on my Facebook page. I have about 5,000 backgammon players. I post very difficult and interesting positions all the time, several times a week, and Will always responds, and sometimes he corresponds directly with me or we talk about it. I've learned so much from him. He's just brilliant. Spread the checkers out in case he rolls a 1-6. That's the one thing you're worried about. The dice have to be on the right side of the board or it's cocked, and you roll both over. Okay. So Will's a big underdog here. Look at that risk. He rolls a 1-6, you're going to cry like a baby. That's what I did against Karen Davis. She rolled a 1-6, and that was it. It's a very similar situation. The only way I could really get hurt, but you got to do it. The reward is worth it. Sliding the back of a 5' to make the 6' is almost always worth the risk. Ooh, I saw the 6. 6 came out first. He needs a 5. I'm not sure I leave the slot there anymore. You don't necessarily need to make it. I would lift now. I would play 7 to 6. Now if he rolls the 1-6, you're still a favorite. And if you make that point, you're going to be breaking it pretty soon anyway. That's my play. I don't think you leave him the 1. You don't need to now. Very good. They must be listening to me. Why the heck isn't everybody using a baffle box? We use them a lot in the United States. I just ran a tournament in Jamaica. We had 32 players, and every board had a baffle box, and everybody loved it. You don't have these cocked dice and dice on the wrong side. And I know 2 good places to buy baffle boxes. You can go to backgammongalaxy.com and go to their store. They have a lot of really nice different styles of baffle boxes. And, of course, the Backgammon Learning Center has the baffle box that I designed and developed over the years that people also love. Okay, you close the board. He does have an anti-joker here. If he rolls double 6s, he leaves a shot. And now he's going to split the checkers, right? Nothing leaves a shot. He has an ideal bear off. Going up 4-0 in a match to 17. You know, you're a favorite, but not enough to shake up anybody like Wilcox. Yeah, I would take 2 off here. I think that's you brought in 1. You play 3 from... There's 2, and now I take 2 off. Plus, first of all, I like getting checkers off, and it's going to be awkward no matter how you play it. So why not get some checkers off? If he plays 3 from the 6 point, that's not horrible either. You're pretty much giving up any idea of any hope of the gammon, and there's still some bad rolls. Now, this is my play. Okay, they agreed with me. I feel very good when top players like this agree with my plays. And Wilcox is opening a bottle of water and while his clock is running. I would open the bottle of water while my opponent's clock is running.
Oh, somehow I didn't notice you.
Come on, get a baffle box. Maybe I should go upstairs and bring mine down next time they have a break. Okay. 6-2 and high doubles are all bad. 6-3 is just fine. There aren't very many rolls that leave a shot next time. 6-5, 5-4, and 6-4. About all I can see.
Haven't had this happen on other boards very often.
That's 6 numbers that leave a shot. Not likely to get hit. Will's going to come in and wait for one of those numbers, of course. He probably can still run off the gammon. He wasted a lot of pips there, though, going down to the ace. I'm not sure I would have done that, but you're wasting anyway. Slot the 5. You know, he's bringing it in now. Now he's thinking if he doesn't hit the shot, he wants to get off that gammon. Not so fast, Will. You got to hit the clock before you pick up those dice. That's my play. There aren't that many rolls that leave shots. 6-1, 5-1, 4-1. 6 shots, you only get hit around 30%. That's 1.8% where you leave a shot and get hit. And even if you get hit here, you still might win. So I like that play, and you do win a few gammons. Now he's probably just going to give up 4 points. I'd like to see that play put in, whether or not he should have peeled there with the 3-2. I think so. Mark Emmerich, baffle boxes can help. Time crunches, absolutely. When we play speed gammon, almost everybody prefers a baffle box. Never have to keep rolling over. All right, he's in danger right now. He needs something high enough. Yes, you could easily get gammon now with doubles. Any doubles, he's down 8-0. It would be huge. Oh, he just exhaled just like I did. Just like I did. He just exhaled. I was holding my breath there. I wouldn't want to see either one of them get gammon at the first game and go down 8-0. I got backgammon my first game with Karen. I was down 4-0 in a 11-point match, and it didn't feel good, but I got to double match point. You can fight your way back. But it was on a 2-cube, not a 4-cube. Okay, 4-0. I'm slotting here, and he does too. That's what we call the gammon go play, which you do when you're at gammon go and behind. At this score, most players don't do that slot with a 5-1. And one reason to do it is if it makes the game more complicated. The reward's big if you don't get hit. And do you want a complicated game? Yeah. If I think I'm the best player in the world or very close to it, and I'm sure Will knows what's going on. Will's pretty confident. He would love to play a complicated game with anybody. I think he should slot. By the way, Mochi slots in almost against anybody with a 4-1 opening in almost every score, which the computer says is slightly wrong. But if your name is Mochi, I don't think it's wrong. So I like that slot play. Yeah, this is always a question. Do you run from the back or the front? Gives you an extra builder, but you get hit more. And if they weren't split, if Hans's checkers in the back were not split, it would clearly, in my opinion, be right to run with the front checker and go to the 11 point. But when you go to the 11 point, when they split, you can get hit with 10s and 9s. So that was the difference, and I'm pretty sure he made the right play by running with the back checker. And by the way, it's still easier to escape the front checker now because you don't need an 11. You only need a 9, which is more common. You can do it with 6-3, 5-4. Double threes doesn't work in this particular situation. And, of course, you can still roll a 6-5 and escape with that number, too. So I like moving the back checker in that situation. And I never get it wrong over the board. Never, ever. And if you believe that, yeah, he's thinking about the hit. It's hard to hit when you're outboarded, when your opponent has more interboard points. But now they have equal interboard points, and he's made the 2-point, which suggests a hitting game. Because the 2-point is a very little value, or the 1-point, unless you get into a hitting game. So that would have leaned me towards the play that he made to hit. So you're always trying to choose between your 4 game plans. Racing, blocking, attacking, or the hybrid high anchor game. Oh, great roll. Great roll. That's what Will wanted. 6-1 or double 1 wouldn't have been bad either to make the bar. Pardon me. This race is close, so I would tend to, I like this play. And leaving the front checker has a little bit of outfield threat. I like this play a lot. Now Will can't bring down a 4 safely. Just comes in safely and just races. This race is still pretty close here. Will would love the point, make the bar point or any point at this point, and he does make a great point on his head. Bingo. Now he's got to be thinking strongly about the cube. But not when he rolls a 4-6. I don't know. You count the race, and you also have threes to hit. He's not doing it. He's not stopping to count it. I would have had to stop and count. If the race is close and you have the hit and you're down in the match 4-0, this could have easily been a cube, but the race wasn't gin for him. If he misses the shot, it's anybody's game on the race. And of course, with the double 4 is another very, very good roll for Hans. Okay, we just have a typical racing game. This looks real close to me. I haven't stopped to count. I'm not a fast enough counter to go through this. I know people, Steve Sachs, Karen Davis are two of the fastest counters I know. Jason Briggs is also a great counter. I'm a very good counter when it comes to using a method called colorless counting. But somebody tells me, Martin says 93 to 100. Who has the 93? I assume white, but 7 pips is not enough to give the cube at this level. Yeah, obviously white's ahead a little bit here. 6, 7 pips. I actually used the Keith count and eyesight for my formulas to determine whether to cube in situations like this. And but I only stop and do it if I think it might be a cube, and you can usually tell in the range. It's a very bad roll. It's pretty much evens up the race. Cock dice resets the clock. So the average roll is about 8, so it's no rolling a 5 and a 3 is about average. Notice how he didn't slot the 1. He unstacked. That's usually right at this point in the game. Very close match. Very close here. Okay. First joker wins. 5-4 is a very good roll. Anything 8 or higher, you're very happy with. Of course, you both want to roll some 6s here. That surprises me. I take that 2 off so fast. But he had a big stack there. It can't be, if it's wrong, it can't be wrong by much. But it wouldn't have occurred to me to do that at that point. I've been taught, when in doubt, peel unless you have a good reason not to. I'll have to look at that one. And sometimes it's a big mistake to do what he just did. But I think the stack was big enough to where it's a reasonable play. He did it very quickly too, though. He must have studied this type of position a lot to make that decision that quickly. So I'm taking the 2 off. All right, looks like a 5-point race, 5-pip race. You're up 5 pips at a 50-something race. That's around 10%. That's pretty good. As far as wastage goes, though, I see 1 pip of wastage according to Trice, or for Hans, it's got an extra checker on the 2-point, which is a 1 pip penalty. There's no other pip penalties for wastage except for that. And now the open 5-point is a penalty. That's a great roll for Will. 6-5 is wonderful. That makes it pretty much of an even game. Oh, that's a very good roll for him. Another 6-5. Another good roll, 6-3. I might be doubling here if the score was even, and I'm going to be very hesitant when I'm winning 4-0, because Will's more likely to snap. 10, 20, 30, 35, 37 for Will. 10, 20, 24, 27, 28, 32. So he's up 2 pips. 2, 4, 6, 8 checkers. 2, 4, 6, 9 checkers. So with an extra checker and up 2 pips, I don't see how you double here. Plus he's got the open 5-point, which is a real pain. It's an easy take, and I don't think it's a double. I wouldn't double this for money, and now I'm up 4-0. But he's thinking a long time about it. I can't see a cube here. I cannot see the cube here. People who are watching are saying double take. I must have missed something here. I would not have doubled that. I want to look at that one too. Every time I'm wrong, and I assume I'm wrong because a couple of people watching posted that they would have doubled, and they have the advantage possibly of looking at the computer. I'm not saying they did, and of course Hans doubled, so I could easily be wrong. That was not certainly looking like a good double now, though. Let's see. Yep, it doesn't look good for Will here from here. 6-1 goes to the ace. Will's got to really perform now. Now he has to play for doubles. What the most doubles wins for him? Double 4, double 5. He needs double 4, double 5, or double 6. Okay, 6-0. Yeah, I told you that was a cube. Why would anybody doubt that cube? And maybe if it was a small no double, it might not be a bad double against Wilcox Snelling. If I'm playing the best player in the world, I'm going to gamble a little bit. I don't know if Hans feels that way. I have no idea if Hans's PR is under 4 PR, and it might be. He's not that much worse than Will. Will is in the 2.5 range. He's up there with the super grandmaster range. I call it the Mochi territory. That's what we're shooting for today. He's our gold standard. The high anchors I love, especially early in the game. Again, he's not going to get gammoned or primed very much with that position. In the early game, I asked myself 3 questions. Can I hit? Can I make a point? Or can I play strategically in that order? So a lot of time I'm torn. I can hit or make the point. It's usually right to hit. Oh, the slot play. Yeah, he's got 3 checkers back. 4th checker doesn't hurt him that bad. He's dead in the race. He's going for the big play. I like this. I like this play a lot. But he only has 6s to cover with. He doesn't really want to cover with the 1 too much. And it certainly worked beautifully. Will's forced to play conservatively. I really like that slot play. I'm not sure I would have made it. I'd like to think I would, because now that I see it, I see the reason for it and the beauty of it. This is what I mean about why I wasn't wild about it, because you're really not happy to use a 1. Of course, your other choice here is to make the golden point, make your opponent's 5 point, and just leave it there. He doesn't feel he gains much making the 5 point since he's already holding the 4 point. I think I might have made the 5 point. I can see the beauty of this play. Will needs a 5, of course, but that's not a good roll at all. Now he's really happy he didn't make the golden point. Otherwise, Will would be making the 4 point here. So there is what we call the chicken play, going to the 2 point and just leaving a 1, and it duplicates. I like this play. Got to try and get out of there. Hans is thinking about the cube, but again, with this score, I don't think you do. Hits and covers the bar point. Very strong. Will doesn't roll a 4 here. He's in big trouble in this game. He needs a 4. He got it. The 2 doesn't help him that much, but he's still darn happy he rolled that 4. Double hit. Again, making Will perform. Will's got to roll a 4. Or double 2s would be nice also. All right, coming in with both is good, but I still don't like his game. Why isn't he doubling? Because he's got too many checkers back. And not that many ways to make the point without breaking his prime already. I think, what about that outside hit? 6-4, hit the man on the 12 point. Someone posted that Hans has been ranked in the top 100 in the world for a while. I've heard of him. I know that's my play right here. I'm taking another checker. Even if it doesn't work out, another checker back is going to get you more gammons in the long run, and that's a good roll. Very good roll for Will, except for the last three. He's got to come down. It's okay. You're happy you did this. He's thinking about, he's thinking about sliding the three because he's so stacked there. I like that too. That greatly increased Will's equity here, making it harder for Hans to give the cube, especially winning 6-0. You got to think you're always asking yourself if your opponent's going to take, and when your opponent's down, it's just human nature to take more aggressively. I think you just bring the checker around. Yeah, make your opponent's bar. Oh, yeah, there's a blitzing play. There's the blitzing play. And with Will having a blot on his 3-point, I like that. I like that play. It really does something very aggressive and gives you a real shot. I don't think this does much. Now, Will's going to hit him or cover, and maybe hit and cover. I really like this first play. I like that blitzing play, the attacking game here. I think this is right. Okay, he makes. I agree with the play completely. Got a big chance to take a big step forward here, but Will rolls a great roll, hits and covers. Not very many rolls do that. 2-5 and 2-3, and this is excellent return, back and forth. Both rolled great numbers. 1-6. I think he comes out. Pretty much thematic to come out to your opponent's 18-point. Want to remind everybody who's watching, hit the like button. That helps Backgammon. And when you have some time, if you're looking for Backgammon supplies, go to Backgammon Galaxy and go to their accessories and board site. They got some beautiful, beautiful boards and accessories. I don't hit here. I don't like breaking the 8-point to hit. And, of course, Will would love to roll a 5 and make the 18-point. He's rooting for a 5 now, and he got it. Is he going to hit or make the 18-point? I don't think it's close. I make the 18. That's big, very big. It stops the prime. Will agreed with me for once. Now, Hans is very happy he didn't double. Not that Will's winning, but you just wouldn't want your opponent holding a 2 cube here and see a 4 cube in your face when you're winning 6-0. They're using a chess clock. In a 17-point match, you have 34 minutes total to play the game. If you run out of time, you lose the match. But every single roll, you get 12 seconds free. We call a 12-second delay before your clock starts ticking off of that 34 minutes. So clock management is part of the skill of the game. That's why they're playing fast when they're pretty sure of the play. And the one thing you don't want to do is get to the last game or to the end of the match and have almost no time and have to play speed gammon when the match is on the line. So, although I must tell you, as wrong as I think that is, Mochi does it often, and I've talked to Mochi about it. We're good friends. We work together. He's part of our Backgammon Learning Center team, and I've never heard a good explanation of why he lets his clock run down that much. I guess he feels so confident that he can play speed gammon, and he wants to play so perfectly the entire game. He uses the clock much more than most players. There's a couple of other people who are the same way, but I teach my students. I'm a professional backgammon teacher. I teach, don't do that. The one thing that Mochi does that I teach him not to do. But And Mochi says he can't disagree for the average player. Okay, which 6? I know mine. I'm gonna make the 9 point. I like primes. I think coming out to make that 6. That's not the point I want. So there's a little disagreement there with me on that play. And part of it is, again, if Will rolls a 2, he has to break his 18 point, and he's vulnerable there. But I didn't like that play. Great roll for Hans. Great roll. Comes in and hits and brings a builder around. You couldn't ask for much more than that. And now it's clearly a drop. The question is, are you too good to double? Are there too many gammons? I think, let's see, 4s and 6s cover and 3s hit. I think this is too good to double. I think you're going to win too many gammons. If you double, it's a huge, quick pass. And that's why I really didn't. Yeah, if I'm Hans, I'd play on. I don't double here. I'm a firm believer in Woolsey's law, which Kit Woolsey taught me in my first lesson with him, and I took several. He's a great teacher, brilliant player. You ask yourself, if you're thinking about double, you ask yourself, first thing you do is you ask yourself if you think your opponent should take or pass, or would you take or pass if you were him? If the answer is pass, then you ask yourself, am I too good to double? If the answer is I'm not sure, you go ahead and double. Well, this is a huge pass. The only question was too good. Again, I think that's too good. I don't see many bad rolls, and I see a lot of great rolls. And I guess winning 7-0, you just want to cash, I guess, but I don't like that cube at all. I can't wait to see that one. I would not have double there. You don't want to give up that chance to win 2 points. Okay. And the fact that I disagree so often with these players is one of the reasons I'm sitting here and they're sitting there. I'm sure. I wouldn't bet against either of these guys, but I would bet that play, and I would bet the 2 bear off play. Makes a natural point. I always love to make those high points early. And you give yourself builders, no reason to come up there. It makes it harder to get out if you come up. Evan Borgnan said he likes caching. Okay. Well, even the experts disagree with each other. There's a great new book by James Vogel, which has 12 experts showing them many, many plays. These are some of the best players of the world, and they often disagree on the play. Many of them are wrong a lot, and it shows you the game has not been solved. But once they see Extreme Gammon and the Extreme Gammon rollout, they pretty much believe Extreme Gammon. They all admit that the computer is better than any human being, except in certain types of positions. So we believe it and use it all the time. Okay, Wilcox finally has a commanding position. Doubles. I don't know that. I don't know that I would have dropped that. But I guess when I'm winning 7-0, that looked like a money take for me. But maybe the score. Change the score, please. There you go. They heard me. Obviously, they can't hurt me. I'm joking. Okay, in match play, if you roll like numbers, you do not double the cube. That would ruin the strategy of the game. In fact, I don't even do that when I play in money games. I don't like having the luck of the roll make a game worth 2 or 4 times as much. I love splitting when my opponent only has 2 checkers on his 8 point, so I love the split for that reason. And if he hadn't split, he could have made the 2 point very easily. Now, you see how fast he moved that 9? A lot of people miss that. Don't even see that the 9 hits. I teach all of my students, before you roll, ask yourself what you need to hit or what you need to make the point. Say it out loud. And that way when you roll it, you're not going to miss it. He wanted a 3 there. He wanted a 3 or an 8. I would be saying to myself, 3 or 8. That's what I need to hit. Those are the key things, the key rolls I needed. Has to come in on the 5. That's the only logical 3 he has. Again, Will's got a strong position here, but not enough to double. He's going to hit and come down. I don't see what else he's got. Come down with a 4 for another builder. Forced by logic. And a 5 is a great roll. He's got a lot of returns here. Come in and hit again. Obviously is what he's going to do. Oh, but he has to hit with the checker he doesn't want to hit with. Break his 8 point and leave all those blots, but what's his alternative? It's a horrible play, but the alternatives are worse. And a repeat. Shake your dice. That's a killer. That is a killer. Wow. Thinking about the cube here. Again, I ask myself, if I'm my opponent, if I'm Will, would I take or pass this cube? I think Will's taking because of the anchor, because even if he gets hit, he might get a double anchor, but it's not an easy take, and there's a lot of gammons. I'm not sure I take. I'm not sure it's a take. It's another part of Woolsey's law. If you're not sure your opponent should take or pass, for sure you should double. Now, he could be making a mistake to double, but there's no way that Will could make a mistake unless he does double. So there's that factor too. Of course, when you're playing Will or Mochi or somebody at that level, you're assuming he's not going to make a mistake. They're that good. They rarely do make, not rarely, but they don't make that many mistakes. But this could easily turn into gammons, and he decides to roll. He's going to hit for sure. He doesn't want him to anchor on that 5 point. That would be disaster, and it could be too good if he doesn't get hit here. Okay. What's he looking at? Now, again, I think Will's dropping, but he's thinking he's too good, and he very well might be. Simply cover. Hitting another checker is he can hit 2 more, but he could also hit 2 more off of the 20 point than the opponent's 5 point without having to switch. If I'm going to hit 2, I'm going to hit those 2. Of course, that gives Will a chance to anchor on the 2 point. I don't think it's right to just cover the 5. That's too passive, or what we call pedestrian. Hits them all.
Better for the camera. So it's better for the camera if they're sort of spread out.
Well, I would think it's a pass. And again, the question is, are you too good to double? I don't see Will taking this cube, even with that anchor. 1s, 3s, 8s, and 11s make the 5 point. There are several numbers that make the 4 point on his head, like a 2-1, 4-1, 4-2. Of course, there's double 1s and double 2s. We have no idea what the PRs are. Somebody just asked, because we don't have this XG running on this stream, so we have no idea what the PRs are. We will find out at the end after it's put into XG, as the match is being saved and will be run. I'm sure the PRs are very good, though. These are 2 very, very fine players. Okay, 8-1. That was a tricky game. Too good, not good, too good, or there were a couple of points where I would have doubled and let Will worry about taking or not. But the score has something to do with it. There's no question that Hans needs to be a little more careful giving the cube when you're winning by a lot like he is now. So an odds maker right now would certainly make Hans a big favorite to win this match. But against Will, he wouldn't be quite that big. But I certainly wouldn't bet on Will now, as good as Will is. If anybody wants to text me and wants to take a bet and take Will in this match, I'm happy to do it, winning 8-1. Marianne Meese, thanks for the stream. Marianne, how are you? My good friends Marianne and Butch used to run incredible tournaments in Indianapolis. I miss going there. I miss the tournaments, and I miss you guys. I've always called Mary Ann the saint. Once a year, for her church and for charity, she gives her whole life up to helping people in poorer countries. I'm not sure which country it was. Is it Honduras? And she just does wonderful things for charity and for backgammon. Haiti. Goes to Haiti every year for a month, and works like a dog to help the people there. What a wonderful, and raises money for it from the backgammon community and friends. My heart goes out to the people like that. The world needs more of that. If everybody was like Marianne and Butch, we would never have a war. Okay. We're blitzing here, and I think blitzing is the right idea. I think you have to hit loose. Hitting loose is scary. You get hit back, you're worried about it, but again, the odds are you don't get hit back, and the reward is very, very big. And hitting is fun. My old good friend Dean Munch always used to say, I'm hitting because it's fun. I do hit here. He's thinking about making the 20-point. I don't blame him in hitting loose. I like that hit. A lot. Be offensive. Here's something else that I learned from Joe Sylvester years ago. And I haven't seen this in any book. Offense, offense, defense, defense. You're in an offensive position, tend to make an offensive play. You're in a defensive position, tend to make a defensive play. Backgammon is like war. You're fighting for territory. And if you have your opponent outboarded and you have more ammunition, don't wait and play passively and mildly. Go for it. And if you were in a war, you wouldn't attack somebody who had more tanks and more troops and more guns. You'd dig in. So if you're in a defensive position, dig in and wait till things become better, or let him try to attack you. In other words, you make an anchor or you play more safely. So that's why I really like the attack that Hans did there with the hit. I thought he was clearly on the offense. And sometimes the best defense is an offense. Putting your opponent on the bar means he doesn't have his full use of his roll next time. So hitting is a major priority in this game. And I guarantee you, when you watch beginners, they rarely take chances like that to hit. When you watch great players like this, you'll see slotting and hitting much, much more than you will see it. And I myself, the higher, the better I get year after year, I'm getting better and better, believe it or not. And I'm hitting more than I used to and taking more chances. I'm able to weigh the risk and rewards more. I make the 20-point here. I play. Oh, really? That's not my play. I would have made a 20-point. I would have hated to see him make the 4 or 5-point from this position. I did not like that play. I could be wrong. That's all forced, that play. He's got no other real good play to it. I still didn't like him not making the 20-point. Double twos. Pointing on him. Did that pretty quickly. I was still looking at other options at that point, but I see the logic of it. Yeah. It's not a very pretty 3 to put a checker down there, but the alternative is breaking the outside point and opening up. Isn't it nice to have a 6 here? You would love to have a 6, but then you see that 1 and you say, why are you doing this to me? The dice gods, you're so cruel. You ever saw the Mel Brooks movie, The 12 Chairs? Dom DeLuise has been put through hell. He gets to the top of the mountain and he says, God, why are you so strict? Well, here, the dice god teases the hell out of you by giving you the 6. Anything else but a 1 with it, or a 4, and you're very happy to get that 6. The dice god is very diabolical. That's one of the things we love about this game. Makes it really fun. So what do you do? What about the hit? What about hitting? Come on. You've got a back game. I hit. I play 8-2. Then close my eyes. I must be wrong. He didn't seem to even considered it. I would have hit there. And I would have been hit back, of course. This play, I think, is clear. Hans better perform. And he doesn't. If it wasn't for that blot on the east point, Will's got a great, strong game, but he's doubling. And at this score, I don't blame him. And look at that snap. How long did it take him to take that cube? 3-2 is, there's an interesting play here. It was from the 6 point to hit and make the ace. I guess it's not even worth looking at. And I promise you, he didn't miss it because he didn't think of it. He thinks of everything. This guy is one of the great odds makers of all time. The whole world relies on what he states the line should be in a basketball game. This guy knows his numbers. Got an update on the other matches. Benjamin Lund is winning 6-0 over Robello. Sander is up 8-3. Zednik is up 11-0 over Dmitry Loy. This Zednik kid is really coming on strong. It's amazing. Came out of nowhere in the last few years. Protege of Falafel. And a really great kid. I guess I got to stop saying kid. He's a young man now. No surprises here. Everybody would pick Sander and Zednik. Benjamin Lund, Robello, that's tough. Robello's one of the other rising stars. I think most people would favor Robello, but I really like Benjamin Lund's game. I've worked with him, and he's been to a couple of boot camps that both the Mochi and I have run, and he's shown me incredible ability. Dice on the checkers don't count. So this is what we call a 2-4 back game, but not great timing, not horrible. Here I would not hit. He has the choice of hitting him, and this is something that most people would hit here. I would eschew the hit and just make the 11 point rather. I think the hitting helps his timing too much. Yes, I'm doing commentary. He hits. I guess he feels he can crush anyway. Okay, again, I would not have hit there. I got to look at that one. I think that helped his timing. I don't think it hurt him that much to get hit. And by the way, I've seen the computer hit in plays like that where I don't. One thing about hitting is you do end up getting more gammons if things go well. I guess he figured he didn't have that much timing anyway, but I did not like that hit. And I'll go on record as saying I don't agree with Wilcox Snelling, which is usually not a smart thing to say. He leaves him a 6. See, it would be tempting to make the point inside with the 2, but it's really critical to get that checker up there so you can run out with a 5 and 6 and hold your position. So that 2 is clearly right to go from the 2 point to the 4 point. Will is very happy that if he gets hit with a 6, there's still 2 blots on the other side, but there's a lot of hidden covers. Ooh. All right. I really can't wait to see that hitting play. I really thought that was wrong. So he has no 6. He only has to play the 5. This is a very nice roll to get out and hold your point. Again, that hit gave him his timing. I mean, it's turning out to be something he's not happy he did. He's able to hold his board because of that hit. Although Will's not likely to leave a shot for another couple rolls, he's going to have to come off anyway. When in doubt, peel. I take 2 off. I take 2 checkers off here because I don't know why not to. Will must see a reason not to. I guess because you want to clear from the top, he's more likely to clear faster by taking a checker off the 6 point. Again, I would have taken 2 off. Morton House's hitting was okay. I didn't like it at all. Okay. Usually in those situations, I don't hit and I pretend I missed it. Just to have a little acting and a little poker. And my opponent think I screwed up. 6-4 is forced. I would have peeled 2 checkers. I still didn't like that part of it either. That's something else I have to study. Bob Wachtel, the great player, wrote a couple of books on In the Game to the End, which helps you a lot with these bearing off positions. And I've read his books and I've studied this and I'm still often not sure of the right play. And I've seen the masters make mistakes on those plays too. There's a great roll. Anything that doesn't leave a shot there and clears is huge. So he's thinking about staying, but he's not likely to get a double shot. It won't happen very quickly. And the advantage of running is you're more likely to run off the gammon. You stay, you could get picked and pass or have trouble later. Okay, we're getting down to some serious business here. And this next roll is going to be very, very big. He doesn't want to roll a 1 or a 3. And there it is, but that's an okay one to roll. All right, you don't want to waste pips here. I would run with 1 checker because otherwise you're bringing a checker in deep into your board and you're wasting 3 or 4 pips that would help you get off the gammon. And the gammon is a risk here. Will needs only, he could easily roll a double and you'd be in big trouble on getting gammon. And it wins 4 points and gets right back in this match. So I'm running. I'm running off the 2 point with 1 checker here. This to me is an easy play. I don't see this as that difficult. And he agrees. I don't see any need to make the bar point here. Just run. Very good. All right. Finally, they agree with me on 1 play. Oh, great roll. Anything that doesn't leave a shot. Didn't get any checkers off, but you got a real big sigh of relief. Of course, he needs a 1 next time, not to leave a shot or doubles. 11 out of 36 rolls have a 1 in it. Oh, is that beautiful for Will. Sigh of relief. Okay, he's going to stay for the shot. Because there's 10 rolls out of 36 where he gets a shot here because double 1s doesn't leave a shot. The other ones do. And he got away with it. Now it's just a question of can Will roll some doubles and up. There goes the game. That's the no gammons, the end of the game. It's over. Okay. No reason to play on. Game over. 2 points for Will. So somebody posted the Robella won a gammon. It's 6-4. That match is now closer. This kid for Robella from Canada, from Montreal, is really an exciting new addition to the game. Kazuki from Japan, another young man, is an exciting new addition to the game. I love seeing all these young kids getting into the game that used to be not even considering backgammon. They were playing chess or poker. But now they're seeing the beauty of backgammon. All right, we got a little closer match now. Double twos. Got a big, strong beginning here for, oh, that's a great equalizer. Wow, I think that may even be more than an equalizer. That's the dream roll. And double sixes, everybody loves double sixes. Right here, it's not that good. It's going to hurt his timing quite a bit. Not that good. I don't know how you win from here with that play. I don't like this play. But if Wilcox is thinking about it, it's got to have some real merit. And in. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. There's no other play I see with the ace. There's no point in coming up with the ace. You have fewer ways to get out when you play that way. So that this makes a lot of sense. I got Ed O'Loughlin sitting next to me telling him what to do. Okay, this is a pretty important roll here. Again, not much you could do. I would just go to the 5 point. Have a builder. Anchors and cubes. Well, that depends. Let's see. You come up with the 2? He doesn't come up with the 2. There's too many pointing numbers, and just hitting loose and not hitting back ends it. That's the question of whether you come up or not. No, we don't have XG. Sorry. Yeah. Somebody else besides Ed said, "Isn't this a double?"
6 for Wilcox, 4,208. The other guy, 24, 93, 133.
At this score, I'm much more inclined to cube. But let's say you cube and then you roll a 6 or a 5, and you're probably coming out, and you can get counter-primed and hit very easily. I'm not positive this is a cube. I know I'm taking. So that's the other question. I know I'm taking, so the first thing I do is I ask if he's taking. If the answer is for sure yes, then you better have market losers. And I don't see that many rolls that put him to sleep. I agree with this non-cube here. Now, that's a very nice roll. That 5-2 is excellent. And unless there's a 1 here, now I'm cubing. Now I'm cubing because I'm not sure I'm taking. That's all I need to be, is unsure whether I would take if I was my opponent. That makes me sure I'm doubling. So if I were Hans, I'm not sure I would take. So if I am Wilcox, I'm sure I double. That's the Woolsey's law. And quickly he does cube. And let Hans worry about this. I think it's a pass. I'm not taking this cube, especially up at the score. He took it. He took it. Good for him. Okay. 5-3. There's counterplay, but I don't do anything wild here. That's wild. It dupes his 1s. Got 1s everywhere. He doesn't roll a 1. Of course, he's going to hit loose with 4s also. 4s and 9s. So he's got 1s, 4s, and 9s to hit loose. And of course, a 1-6 would be a super joker. I'm not sure I do this. I don't do that. I play it quietly. I don't do that either. I bring the 5 in off the 8 point, and bring the 3 in, or play a 3, one of the other 2. But Wilcox is going. Yeah, that's Ed O'Loughlin's play. It must be wrong. Okay. Not very good roll. You're going to win more games if you hit, but you're going to get gammon more if you hit. So I think because you're winning, you're going to say to yourself, I'd rather just lose 2 points here. I would make that play also. He still hasn't gotten out. He's thinking about the hit. Wow. I bring the 2 down and the 4 in. Wow. He's thinking about hitting off the ace. You do win more gammons that way, too. I like this play. I like this play. Not after this game, I wouldn't call it crushed. Assuming he wins this game, and he's a big favorite. 6-2, I don't like any play, but I like this one best. Leaves no blots, makes a point. I like making the 2 point because it makes it a little bit harder for Will to attack on the ace point and go for the closeout. So I like that play that he just showed us. I hope he makes it because that's my play. Clear the 8 point. You don't get gammoned a lot with 1 checker back, but he's still got some checkers in the outfield that adds to the gammons. Five, 3. Yep, you dupe 1s. You're going to see that theme a lot by good backgammon players. Duplicating an opponent's number where it's good in several places means that if he doesn't roll it, you're safe, and if he does roll it, at least it hurts you anyway. So putting a checker someplace where a 1 hurts you didn't hurt him that bad because a 1 hurts you anyway for him to move up. Although it doesn't hurt you that bad if he moves up with the 1, unless it's a 1-6. Now you come up and hope he doesn't roll a 6. The negative is and if he hits you loose, I think you have to come up here. You don't? You think you get gammon? Well, I'm coming up. I hope he rolls a 6 or a 1, and even if he rolls another number that hits, he's hitting loose and is under threat. I think you had to come up there. I love that play. So Will doesn't have to hit him. I like this play also. Again, because he may not roll a 6, you got a heck of a lot of ways to point at him next time. If you hit him loose and he rolls a 2, you could easily lose this game. So I like this play, and if he gets out, he has a chance in the race, but this is still, he's got to roll a 6, and then he only gives him a chance. I love that play by Will. A lot of pointing numbers here, and there it is. Proving I was right. In hindsight, it's always great to say that. Okay. This is not home free here. The wrong 6 here could be hurtful. But that's a great roll. Five and 1. I'm not sure that's right, but it must be if he did it. I might have brought the checker in. But I guess you're not thinking about winning gammons here too much anymore. The odds that we gammon in this position are probably about maybe 8 or 10%. Not enough compared. Now you clear the 4 point. I know this play. You clear the 4 point as opposed to the 6 or 5 point. And I've just studied it and put it in enough times to know that's the play. That's a gammon saving roll, not a winning roll. Although he does have a chance. It's an outside chance, but we've seen it happen many times. I would not have taken this cube at all. And I can't wait to see that, whether it was a take or not. You take that cube, Ed? For money, maybe. Well, up 8-3 in a match is different than playing for money. Okay, 8-5. We got a much closer match now.
I don't have a much matchup, but how's the story of this match? Big cube or
I don't know what you're asking.
how did Wilcox get down 8-3?
He got gammoned early, and he took a couple of tough cubes, but just didn't work out. Okay, 5-1. So there's a thing about splitting against stacks, and here I usually don't split. I would bring one down instead. He's slotting. Wow, that's a very aggressive play here. A very slotting against a split game. That's very, very aggressive. I guarantee you won't see that by the computer or most players. But he's playing. Remember, just a couple games ago on an opening roll, he came in with he slotted with a 5-1 opening. He's playing a much more aggressive game. He must feel that he needs to play that way. Now, we have a lot more information about players than we ever had before. So many matches are recorded, and if you go to Backgammon Studio, you can research any player and see what their weaknesses are. And if you're smart, that's what you do. Maybe he sees that hands doesn't play back games that well. It doesn't play the more complicated games that well, and he did some scouting. I don't know. I know that Will is not above doing that because I'm not going to name names, but Will played a player that he knows I know well, and he came and asked me, what are this guy's weaknesses? How should I play this guy? And, Will certainly doesn't need backgammon advice from me, but he's looking for every piece of information he can get. So here's a guy that sets the lines for sports betting for big money all over the world, and they want to know if the coach has a cold or if one of the players has a sore foot. They look at everything when they set the line, and Will is just as methodical in his backgammon, I guarantee you. I think that's what's happening here. I got to look at that play. How many people in the world are going to slot against the double? Okay, double 5. He can run out and just play a racing game. I think you have to run out here. Again, when you're up in the race, that's his best game. I run out instead of hit as well, because you really don't have that many covers, and you don't have that much outboarded. Yep. We got to remember that not only the 5 hits, but all the 8s. Not all the 8s, 6-2 and double 2 doesn't hit. Double 5. You're going to make the 3-point and then look around. Come out, safe. Yep. And now if Hans doesn't perform, you're thinking cube. I'm thinking cube very strongly here. I'm gonna double here if I'm Will. I'm doubling if I'm Will because I'm not quite sure. I keep it down just a little so I can talk. I'm not sure that I'm taking, so I'm sure I'm doubling. I guess it is a take. Certainly would be a take for money. There's 24 hits with the 6 and the 1, plus you've got 9s, which adds a 5-4. He doesn't double. Okay. I would have doubled there. 6-1. I would make the point. And now if he doesn't perform, you're sorry you didn't double. You've lost your market. You've lost your market. Because now I think it's a pass. But that's hindsight. That doesn't make me right. But this is clearly a market loser where, especially at this winning, Hans is not going to take this cube. It almost doesn't matter what Hans does. Now, he can come in with the 4 and hit him off the ace and make him too good to double. That's one way to stop the cube. That's one of my strategies. I stopped my, see, I wouldn't have even thought of it. I can stop the cube right here by hitting him off the ace point. And make him too good to double. And then later on, I turn the game around and I'll laugh like crazy. Right, complicated game. Obviously, I'm kidding, by the way. It would be suicide to make that play. But I don't think it matters what he plays. And I think these are the kind of plays where you put it in XG, and it makes every play equal because every play is a double pass. There it is. Double pass. I don't see what there is to think about here. Of course, when you make the play, you should be thinking, am I going to take the cube? Okay. Now, what I think in situations like that where I know I'm passing, I'm thinking, what play can I make that might stop him from doubling? That might give him pause. Now, I don't think that way when I'm playing Wilcox, but if I'm playing Wilcox or Ed O'Loughlin or a great player, but when I'm playing your typical average player, I'm trying to make a play that bluffs him into not doubling. So I still make a play. It might not be the right play, but it might be the scarier play that if he doesn't perform, I might counter prime him or make a point. Yeah, makes him think. That's my old strategy. That gets you gammoned a lot too, by the way. Okay, double six is a great roll here. By the way, we got a tight match now. Look at this, 8-6 is. I mean, equal players here. Hans is only maybe a 54-46 favorite here at the score, maybe 55%. 4-1's not a great roll. Okay. Yeah. So Wilcox is, according to Ed, about a 2 PR better. That's quite a big spread. That makes Wilcox a very big favorite in a 17-point match, and a very small favorite in a 7-point match. You know, but that's why we have these longer matches. Personally, I don't like the long matches. I'd rather see him play 2 out of 3 to 7, or 3 9s or something like that. More exciting, more like tennis. You break it up into small bits, and you have a lot more match points and add points and Crawford games. But this is more traditional. Their backgammon matches have gone to 30 points and 25 points and more. Okay, this is fives are blocked. He's got to make 2 inside points. Not that bad. His odds of fanning are not. The odds are he will come in. 20 out of 36 rolls come in, and 16 numbers don't. So he is favored to come in, and he does. And Will has a great attacking position right now. He wants to hit that checker on the 5-point, and he can't. He can't. Not a great roll. Now he's a little bit stuck there. This is a good turn for Hans. He could have been in big trouble the last couple of rolls, and he escaped. Now Will needs some doubles. It's not easy to get out that 18-point here. But it's not easy for Hans to hold those 3 points. He's got to give one or two of them up pretty soon. Yeah, you have a lot more flexibility giving up the 12-point right now. He could just run off the 13, but then what does he do next time? He's stripped everywhere, and I don't like this play. I give up the 12-point, and yeah, now he's got time to play, hold the point. I like this play much better. I don't like having 2 checkers on all 3 points. Rolls a 6 next time, and yeah, he makes it. Yeah, Ed O'Loughlin doesn't like it either. Yeah. Okay, now what does he do? Did I call that? Ed called it too. That's why we would have cleared the 12-point last time, but oh, big roll. It really cost him. It is like it's what well, often we don't see poetic justice, but here we did. I think it's a double and a pass. Like a double and a pass. And I think think about where this game would be if he had cleared the 12.
Not too good.
Oh, no, it's a pass.
91, 95, like 17 trips for being on the bar, 42 and 95, 137. That's about 17 trips.
Yeah, it's clearly a double and a pass to me. But Wilcox thinking for Ed, let me talk, okay? Sorry. I think one of the things that Wilcox may be doing is not necessarily thinking if he's too good. The longer he thinks about doubling, he's thinking maybe his opponent will take. There's some poker here, and nobody plays the poker. They play these games well. Wilcox is a genius at that kind of scam. I think it's a scam to wait, maybe convince your opponent to take. He genuinely might be thinking he's too good, but you got to weigh the risk of losing against the Gammons, and he's only favored to come in with a 5 11 out of 36 times. That's about 30%. But he needs to come in anytime in the next 3-4 rolls. That makes him a big favorite to come in with a 5. And your odds of closing the 5 point are very small. And your odds if he comes in and hits you, you could be toasted in this game. I think it's a double and clearly a double for that reason. But Will's thinking about all these things.
2 rolls. 3 rolls for Wilcox. 3 rolls.
Uh-huh. Well, last night I watched the end of Wilcox's match. It was a 2 away, and he was given a very early cube that anybody would snap take. And Wilcox thought for a long time, and it was a huge take. I mean, not even worth thinking about. And afterwards I said, "What took you so long on the cube?" He said, "Oh, I had lots of time on the clock. I wanted to relax." There was no way he was passing. He just liked to use the time. And there it is, 5-6. That's not one of his best 5s, but he's got to come out. Otherwise, there's way too many shots. The race is still so strongly favored by Will. When he comes out, it's still going to be double pass. Yeah. Because if he misses, he's still got the game. And well, how can you not come out with the 6 here? Any other play leaves more shots. I can't think of another play besides coming out. And Hans is really thinking about it. He must have something on his mind. Just can't imagine that play. That's the only play. Now, I still think it's double pass. Will's rolling. Figures if he hits, he might get a gammon. If he misses, you can double him out later. He hits. Okay. I'm taking 1 off myself. I want to win the game for sure. He's taking 3 off. I would not do that. If he comes in with a 4, he can sit there for a while and you could easily lose the game. This is my play. I mean, winning an undoubled gammon is not that huge here compared to losing the game. It's a 2-point swing. The gammon only gets you 1 point, and the winning or losing the game is worth 2 points. People don't realize that that's why the gammon's worth half as much as winning, and that's why you make sure you have the win first. Yeah. Oh, there's the doubles. See? And here I was thinking that Wilcox should have doubled him out easily, and he thought, and he might get this gammon. It's possible. Needs another double, probably. He needs another double.
For sure.
Well, 6 is big, but the one, again, the average roll is 8. He rolled 7, so you're not thrilled. And it's tough. This is tough. He could easily get the gammon here now, especially with the 1 and 3 points open, which is a factor. Now he has to roll doubles no matter what. No matter how he plays it, he's going to need doubles to get off the gammon. So he plays for, what he's thinking about is which move will give him the most doubles is all that he cares about at this point. So you go through all the numbers and see which doubles work the most. There's automatically, if you didn't need doubles, you would automatically bring the 6 in and play the 4 up, but not if you need doubles. You have to play it totally differently. So if he moves the 6-4, he could get to double 4s. Getting to double 3s would be tough because of the open 3-point. Okay. Double 2s will work. Double 3s. 1, 2. No, double 3s does not work. He's gammoned. He is gammon. All right, Will. I would not have played on there. And that's why he's Wilcox and I'm Phil. I would have got that wrong. All right, it's break time, and I need a break too. That's great. We're really excited. We'll be back shortly. Please hit the like button, and please go to Backgammon Galaxy and look at their wonderful products and also the playing site. Backgammon Galaxy is the premier playing site in backgammon today. There's several other good sites that I also like, but Galaxy is where everybody's meeting and playing, largely because Galaxy made a deal with Xavier Extreme Gammon to where the matches are analyzed instantly, not at a real high level, but high enough to where it'll give you a feel for how you played, and also you can see your mistakes right away. Right after the match, you can see what you did wrong. What a wonderful way to play and have fun. And by the way, you don't advance unless you beat your opponent and play better. So it's really a lovely site, and you can pick your opponents based on their achievement points, so that you don't have to play a super giant if you don't want to. And if you're a very, very high level player, you don't have to play somebody who's way below you. So it's a great playing site. It's one of the great innovations, and they just came out with an app. I cannot wait to try it. Okay. Somebody's telling me that the PRs, except game 1, was Wilcox 307 and versus 544. That's pretty much exactly what we'd expect. Wilcox playing about 2 PR more. They would both normally play a little better than this, maybe drop it a little bit, but they're both playing very well and pretty much as predicted. I think somebody pointed out earlier that this thing that Ed and I were yelling about, breaking the 12-point and poetic justice, that he made the right play and we were wrong. So somebody put it into XG, and all that screaming and yelling about that Ed and I had, we were wrong. And I can't imagine the first time in history that Ed and I were both wrong at the same time. It's just amazing that happened. It's a red letter day in our history, Ed.
All right.
I got to look at it, though. I can't understand why it's wrong, but he had a reason. All right, quick break. We'll be back shortly.
He did do it. Oh, they don't want to do it. I'm talking about nobody joins. That's why I have to say that. But in the meantime, but don't talk over. I think like that. They're the ones they can hear. Oh, great. How's it going?
Feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door, she at the back, bro. All I really take is a little taste. Island girl, blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chaser. Wanna vibe at a getaway. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, I got the semi-fold weight. Don't step out the line like this a probate. You hit the line and try to locate. This for the time, got time for no day. One, too many, I'm going. Too crazy and I got bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's into it, we left that. Can't remember anything, but I know we got lit. Good magazines. Really think I'm seeing things. Read the line in between. Yellow light, I gotta speed up. Get home to a cold shower. Need that pronto. Look like a rave at the condo. Heck of a night in Toronto. She said, boy, you in Morocco. Pearl white mention in the top gold. Fill up my cup with the pop, whoa.
Okay, I believe we're live again. I see a comment about the mobile app. They think it needs a little bit of work. Hey, everything needs a little work when it starts out. Get the bugs out of there. But I got to give a lot of credit to Mark Olson and his crew for what they've done for Backgammon. They're streaming, the website, all the other things that they've done, and now joining this up with Monte Carlo, the World Championship, the premier backgammon tournament in the world for many, many years. Linking it all together, I think, is incredibly smart and great for the game. And the main reason I think it's great for the game is these are good people doing it. These are people I respect. I respect their ability to promote the game honestly and fairly and kindly, and that's important. Wow, look at this comeback. You don't just get cocky when you're playing Wilcox Snelling. You don't get cocky when you're playing anybody. These games often turn around. I've beaten a couple giants. I'm not going to name names. I don't want to embarrass them, but I was losing 10-1 in a match to 11 against one of the best players in the world, and I came back and beat him. The odds of that are very, very poor, especially since he was much better than me. So I'm not going to name names, but MCG are his initials. Very close friend of mine. Matt lived in Chicago for a while. We traveled to tournaments together. I took him to his first ABT event. I drove him from Chicago to Minneapolis. We're talking about Matt Cohn-Geyer. And he won the Open and the Masters in his very first ABT tournament. And his nickname now is the Genius for a reason. He's not here. Where are you, Matt? Why aren't you here? Everybody's asking that question. Where the hell is Matt Cohn-Geyer? There's a lot of great players missing, of course, some because of COVID and some for other reasons. But yeah. Matt,
Joe Sylvester is back.
Yeah, Joe Sylvester. Well, he was back for the LA tournament. Yep. Well, it's debatable that he was the best, but he certainly was one of them. Yeah, but best tournament player, maybe. A lot of people will say McGrill, Tim Holland.
Oh no.
No, you know, you're older than me. You remember it better. How old was he then? Was he 18, 20 years old? You were playing him. Okay. I have a lot of respect for Sylvester's game. I think in the last 10 years he's played in 4 tournaments and won 2 and won the Constellation and 1. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty amazing. All right, they're getting ready. I would say the odds right now are about 50-50 at 9 away, 9 away. And I think that I would like to have a scorecard that says 9 away, 9 away. That's the way to score this game.
When they start back,
Yeah.
right? Her problem inside.
Wrong place? Thank you. Okay. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock and, at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. and 10 o'clock at night. Hey, Will, good comeback. Good for you. Huh? Yeah, 9-point match, like you said. Will is smiling and happy and relaxed, and you always feel better if you're the one that came from behind. It's a lot more fun to be losing and come from behind than it is to be ahead and then find yourself even. By the way, instead of also hitting your like button, you might shoot an email or put on your Facebook page the link to the Backgammon Galaxy YouTube, where it'll be actually be 24 hours a day. You can go there and watch matches, and you can learn a lot, not necessarily from the commentator, but certainly by the players who are playing. I think Nick Blazer, who is a very close friend of mine for many years, is wonderful in his commentary on Stream 1. He has the benefit of Extreme Gammon going, so he can see exactly what's right and wrong and how they're playing. I wish I had that. So I'm guessing more. For example, Ed and I were really wrong on one play, according to one of the people watching on that clearing the 12 point. And I really got it. I'm dying to see that play. I'm going to actually study that later tonight and find out why it's wrong and get some logic behind it. The nice thing is that I have a teaching group called the Backgammon Learning Center, and I can shoot out a copy to the group and say, okay, somebody help me with this. Why is this right? And Marty Storer, Dirk Sheeman, sometimes Mochi, Perry Gartner may give me the reasons and the logic, and helps me really learn the game. Will the first part of the game be available later? The stream missed it. Gee, wasn't aware of that. Bill Riles? Somebody posted that the first part of the stream didn't come out at the first part of the game. But it will be available later? It will. Okay. So if you want, you can go back and watch this later, and we'll see the beginning of the match. Thank you for the question. Any good questions like that, I'd love to see. Yeah, you asked Bill on Facebook, but Bill's running around working. He's not having a chance to look at his computer. He and Tara are workhorses at these tournaments, not only setting these things up. You can't imagine the equipment and the technology to set up what you're looking at right now at this quality. So you're not going to be able to reach Bill while he's doing the work. He and Tara are running around like mice. I'm interested that somebody actually gave us some PRs. That means somebody's running this through XG, which is very admirable that they can do it that fast and keep up with it. Of course, you can always go back when you're on, if you miss something, and pause the video and catch up. But I hate that transcription. I pay somebody to transcribe all my matches so I don't have to do it myself. All right, looks like they're ready to go. Match is about half over. Time-wise, look at the difference in the clock. 12 minutes versus 25. There's a big difference. Hans has used up a lot more time on this clock, and that could become a factor later if we get into really complicated situations. You saw Will just have a 5-1, and he didn't slot because now the match is even. He's not playing gammon go anymore. He's not having to come from behind. And by the way, it was Joe Sylvester, we were talking about him earlier, that taught me that anytime you're behind, you play gammon go. And he said this before there were computers that justified it. It said it was right. And other people were telling Joe he was wrong. He was right way ahead of his time. My buddy Eric Peterson just stopped by and said hello. Hello, Eric. Nice to see you from L.A. Okay. Slots. I guess you just play quietly here. I can't imagine hitting. You're stacked pretty bad. He's got a blot. There is a possibility of the hit here, to hit off the 3-point. But I think this is much more reasonable. I wouldn't have faulted him for hitting. See how quickly he saw that? Many people don't even think about it, but Will knew before he was shaking the dice that a 6-5 hits. And we can all gain by thinking about it ahead of time. Dice on the checkers are no good. It's a cocked dice. Get a baffle box. I'm not going to keep preaching that. I know you get tired of hearing me say that. Yep, no point in making the 4-point behind him. It's much more important to make points in front of him. 6-4 makes the bar. However, you leave a blot on the midpoint and you lose your midpoint. There's pluses and minuses to that play as well. All right. Will knows he's up in the race by a little bit. Doesn't want to get into a hitting battle after your opponent made the 2 point, because that's what the opponent wants to do. Which brings us to Simborg's Law. Think about what your opponent doesn't want you to do and do it. That's another approach to checker play that I think is helpful. Boy, I don't make the ace point here. I think I would have given up the midpoint, but he must know something. Recently, this is a very poor roll. He would have loved to have made the 5 point there. That was big that he didn't. There's a hit. And the 5, I don't know. I think I just come out. You might come in and lift the block, give yourself a 1 to cover, but I certainly like 6s to cover. Can you dupe 2s? If you come out, you're giving him a 3. Yep. Uh-huh. I think you just come out. If he doesn't roll a 2, you might be cubing him out. Yeah, this is a good strong point to hold. In case he rolls a 2, you're blocking his 6s now. Okay, now you have to be thinking about the cube again. I certainly am thinking about it, and I'm asking myself, if I were white, would I take or pass? I'm not sure, so I'm cubing. Very simple Woolsey's Law. I know I'm cubing because I'm not sure if I'm taking. And he does cube. And again, I'm not sure I'm taking here. I don't like getting hit. If I don't get hit, I don't have a great game. I don't like having the 2 and 3 points made. Even if I get a shot later, I might not win. I'm passing this cube. Ed O'Loughlin, what would you do? He passes also? All right, we must be wrong. Must be a take. Yeah. He took it. Again, I don't like this take. He's going to hit. And the 2 comes down to have fewer shots back. 5s are duplicated. He needs a 2 here badly. This is what probably his worst come in roll to have to break the midpoint and leave a shot. But whoa, this is not a great roll. But he switches. Switches from 4 to 2. There's no reason to leave shots here. And now the take doesn't look that bad. It's not real easy to clear that point.
Coming back, right?
Oh yeah, he was down 8 to 8. Yeah, big comeback. My buddy Mate is here. Remember I told you how much I hate to transcribe? The reason I've been able to continue recording my matches is thanks to Mate Ferrer. Is it Ferrer? Did I say it right?
Hey,
Ferrer, yeah. Okay, whatever. He transcribes all my matches for me, does a great job, gets them back quickly, accurately. And if I have a bad PR, he loses the match. Just forgets to do it. Really, the hardest point to clear is 6 away, so there is some real game here for Hans, although both Ed and I would have passed this cube. Give yourself the most coverage. You don't want to duplicate your 6, I don't think. You're likely to get a 6 shot. So you unduplicate it. That's a good way to do it, by the way, by playing 6 to 5. I think that was the right play. 6 to 5 gives him 2 covers, neither of which is a 6. Yep. He doesn't duplicate anything, but... Okay. By the way, at the beginning of the tournament, I told Will, I had breakfast with him. I said, I think you're the best player in the world that has not won the world championship. It's real close between him and Victor Ashkenazi. But this Will says, well, I hope you can't say that anymore after this tournament. He was very confident. Yeah, but I still stand by my comment. He didn't play that much in the World Championship. Yeah, you have to show up to play. That's right. Okay, 2, 4, 5 checkers on the 6 point is a tiny negative. If he rolls double 6 or double 5 here, he leaves a shot. That's not too many rolls. 3 checkers on the 6 point is not too bad. You only leave a shot with 6-5. If you have a checker on the 4, which he does. So only a 6-5 leaves a shot here. And I might leave the checker there because if you come off the 6 point, now you leave shots with 6-1 and 5-1. That's more shots. And you get checkers off. So I think this is right. It's called double jeopardy. In the old days, they would have laughed at him, but the computer has been telling us that this play is right. Leaves half as many shots and gets checkers off. Okay, now again, only a 6-1 and 5-1 to leave a shot. 4 rolls. Each roll is worth 2.778%. So close to around 10%. He rolls a 1, but it's a good one. You may as well stay. You're not going to get gammon probably by staying, and you might get that shot and save and win the game still. He keeps rolling 1s and teasing him. Now you run. Almost with anything you run. You don't wait for the shot anymore. The staying could cost you the gammon. To get a shot, he has to roll a 6-1 or 5-1, and then you have to hit it. I'm pretty sure you just go here and get off the gammon. And he does. Okay. There aren't too many rolls where you'd stay there. And look at this. Will now takes the lead. 10-8. What a comeback. Great, great comeback. Did I tell you earlier this match was not over, even though he was, what was it, 8-0? Or was it 6-0? I don't remember, my memory's not that good. Somebody said, so this is the quarterfinals of the main. Not really. This is the round of 8. And because you can still come back and win after you lose a match, we really can't call this the quarterfinals because the loser here can still win in the fighters bracket and come back. So it's the round of 8 in the undefeated. But that's pretty far along. We started with over 200 players. First time since I think 2010 or 6 that we had that many players. This game is coming back alive, and that's in spite of COVID. A lot of people I know, some very fine, but Joe Russell was going to be my roommate. He canceled at the last minute because of COVID concern. My good friend Blake Fleetwood was coming, and he canceled because there's been a recent outbreak of COVID. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that aren't here for that reason. But we still have a pretty much close to a record turnout for the modern era, and that's great. That shows you how anxious we are to play, and I think backgammon is growing tremendously. I can't prove it, but I'm seeing big numbers of people playing on apps and online. COVID actually helped the game, in my opinion. Okay, this is a very brittle position for Wilcox. Not a lot of really good rolls here and a lot of bad rolls like 2-1. Double tiger. It's both. Didn't take very long to think about it. Even though you got one hit, though, having that other checker to cover or do something with it, it makes the play right. Nice roll. Comes in and covers. I'm making the 5 point. Which 5 point? The question is. There's no question that's the 2. Now, which 5 point do you make with the 3? I make the 20 point. With that 4 checkers back, I like playing defense, offense, defense, defense. I would have made the 20 point there. That's one, again, I'm going to look at. Now you make the bar, very natural. So many people don't like making the bar, but it's a very strong point and gives you a great game for a long time. Now, if you get hit now, at least he has to break his bar. Most of the time he's going to hit with that checker. So it isn't that horrible to get hit if he has to give up the 18 point. That's the 1. Where's the 6? Out. Okay. Gives him a lot more flexibility to play from there. This game's going to go on for a while, so you rather not be stuck on the ace point. See how much he hates to throw a checker away past the point he wants to make? All good players really don't like doing that, but in this case, all the alternatives look so much worse. I go out to the bar again. If I'm Hans, I play for 24 to 18. I don't like the hit. I don't like sliding the bar. He doesn't want to play that passively. I'm not wild about this play. Might be right. Very aggressive play. Clearly he got away with it. This is not terrible to get hit off the ace point there. 6 is in. Only because there's no alternative. Like Yogi Berra said, if you come to a fork in the road, take it. He came to a fork in the road and he had to take it. It's 5 out or down. I think it's a good time to come down and get the other builder. Coming out exposes you to a 6 from the bar, which he can't use. So I like the coming down here. I'm willing to bet that Wilcox makes the right play. In fact, I'll bet that on every play. Anybody who's playing it around 2.5 PR in that range is going to make the right play almost all the time. That's my play, by the way. I like this play. I don't like coming out giving him the 6. I like getting the extra cover. You've got somewhat of a possible blitzing game if he doesn't roll an ace. I don't think the checker back on the 23 point is really going to get stuck too much. He's not under a lot of threat because there's going to only get hit with 3s. This is my play. Okay. Again, that's your only 6. That makes any sense. It's forced by logic. Wilcox certainly has the better position here, but you can notice he's not cubing. If he hits with the 4, where's his 6 is the problem. He might hit 2 here. I like that play. I like hitting 2. He double tigered before. I love this play. That's my play too. I think that's very natural. Okay. He needed to perform there. If he doesn't hit back, it could have been very, very hurtful. Just come all the way up. Make it easy to get out. You're not duping anything. Duping 3s. That's the advantage of that play. He needs a 3 to hit both of those checkers. Now he's looking about duplication. That's not good to dance here. I love these low doubles. There's so many different ways to play them. I like what he's doing. I think you got to find a way to hit. Put a second checker up. The question is how. I would not just throw 2 more checkers to the ace point and put him out of play. I like this a lot. This is my play. This is my play. And now, if he doesn't roll a 3, you got a hell of a game. He's not even stopping to think about the cube. That's interesting. You know, when you're blitzing, it almost doesn't matter which point you're making. Making a low point gives you more covers for the higher point. People don't understand that theory. And now, it's a little brittle, tricky position. Hit and cover. Hit and cover. Wow, if he dances here, I wonder what the cube action is. Now I really got to wonder what to do. He's playing on. He's looking at the hit and pick and pass. Then he has no cover, no direct cover for the 5 point. Do you lift with the 1 now? No, look at that. This is really tricky. This is a way out of my range. Very interesting. I think that's my play. You have to hit and bring the 2 down. You've got to go blitz. You got to go all out blitz here. Comes in with a 5. This is probably still too good to double. Probably too good. I don't think there's any way he's taking this cube. So the question is it too good? And in, safe. This is a huge roll for Hans. He really needs that 5. 5 anything. 6s and 1s hit. It's too good now. Certainly is a big pass. The 1 hits. 4 comes out. Because it's the only 4 you have other than lifting. And then you'll never make the point if you lift. Oh, big 5. Wow, we got us some drama here. Now does Will want to double? 27 rolls come in. 9 rolls dance. He's in with nothing dramatic. He reduces the blots, reduces his chance of him coming in with a 5 and hitting. Now Will wishes he had doubled. He wishes he'd cashed. Does he cash now? Okay. Is it a cash is the question mark. Does he take? I don't take this cube. I think it's a cash. I think it's double pass. He's certainly going to hit loose with a 6. If he doesn't hit loose, Hans better roll a 5 very, very quickly. I don't see how to take this cube. Somebody pointed out a lot of awkward rolls. Absolutely. A lot of very awkward rolls. And I'm surprised how fast Will doubled. I mean, Will moved those other positions without thinking more or longer about whether to double or not. And actually, if I'm Hans, I'm kind of relieved here to lose 1 point. Because he's on the verge of a lot of situations where he gets gammoned. I'm kind of happy to get out of this, and I'm a little disappointed to win only 1. I love Will's checker plays, though. Those are very tricky plays. This illustrates something that I was taught long, long ago. Actually, Stick helped me with that. The player who's doing the blitzing is going to have the worst PR. So if it's really close to a take or pass and you're the one being blitzed, you might take just because your opponent's going to make a lot of mistakes. If XG says you have a pass by .06, you can be pretty sure that unless your name is Wilcox or one of the best players in the world, the player's going to make some mistakes. And I'm willing to bet you that not all of Will's plays were right because it was just too hard to get them all right. They're difficult plays. So even Wilcox won't play that position at 2.5. That's a good roll. Double 6, getting out of there, making the anchor. Helps the race. Okay, you got pretty much a pure race. Well, it's nowhere near a pure race, I'm sorry. Not when your opponent's holding your 18 point. But he's playing for the race here, and really good players, if they hone their pip counting skills, that's just strictly practice. There's a whole bunch of tricks to counting. I think Jack Kassane came up with his concepts of cluster counting, which is incredible, and you could find that article on Backgammon Galore, which is a website, bkgm.com, and it will help you with your pip counting. And I have 2 videos. If you go to the YouTube Phil Simborg, you'll see two videos that will help your pip counting quite a bit. Jeremy Scher, one of my students and good friends, came up with a whole bunch of great shortcuts, which I put up on YouTube. And then we also came up with the colorless counting idea, which can be very, very handy in many positions. And I have to thank Art Benjamin and Kit Woolsey for making colorless counting even easier by adding some of their wonderful insights into how to use it. Okay, I see this as a quick take, and I'm not sure it was a double. I'm snapping that cube up too. I'm not sure that was a double. I don't think the score is drastic enough to be desperate. In fact, I did not like that cube. I did not like that cube. It's turning out to be good because double one's a very good roll, making the 5 point and come in. Yeah, I can't believe that was a double. Holding your opponent's 18 point there. In fact, I was surprised when he did it. And by the way, that's reverse Woolsey's law. Something that, again, I'll take a little credit for. I came up with the concept. If you get a cube, ask yourself, are you sure it was a double? If you're not sure your opponent had a double, then take it. For sure it's a take. It's a takeoff on Woolsey's law, and that's a situation where I'm not sure my opponent had a double, so I'm just going to just snap it up just like Will did. Not easy to bring it home when you're sitting on your opponent's 18 point. He was winning the race. He did have more of an attacking position, but I really don't think it was strong enough at all. I didn't see market losers. Can't wait to see if that's in XG. That could have been a double. And again, I don't think the score is drastic enough to make you start gambling that much. If Will wins this game and then wins the match, you might be able to point to that cube as the one of the major reasons that Will won. By the way, I like this play. It's going to get harder and harder to come off of that point. Yeah, big lead in the race if he's missed. He's missed 16 times he doesn't hit out of 36. 20 times he does. And when you get hit, you don't always lose, of course. I like this play. And he doesn't get hit. It was a big gamble, and it was a very good play. He did get away with it. Double 5. See, this is a great cube. Did I tell you that earlier, that he made such a great cube here? Can we go back and erase my statements from before? Off the all right, good luck, Ed. Thanks for your help. Yep. He had to get missed with 20 shots and make that play and gamble a lot. So, again, you can't go by results. You have to go by long-term statistics, and that's what XG gives you very quickly. www.extremegammon.com. When you go there, they ask you, where did you hear about this program? From a friend, from the internet, or from Phil Simborg? Those are your three choices in the drop-down screen, because Xavier was rewarding me a little bit for helping him market and come up with the Extreme Gammon, and I helped a lot with the design. And if you want to spend 6 months figuring out how to use it, go ahead. Or email me at phil@sim.org and send me $25 by PayPal or Venmo, and I'll use the money to buy boards for kids, which I've been doing for years, to give kids at schools all over the country backgammon boards, all over the world, actually. And I will send you a 1-hour video that tells you everything you need to know about how to use Extreme Gammon, how to set it up, how to use it, how to read it. But you need Extreme Gammon if you really want to learn this game. There's nothing that comes close, and it has so many beautiful bells and whistles. And sometime in the future, it's going to be even better. It's being upgraded. Xavier's working on some real improvements to it. All right, we got a much closer match now. 6 away, 7 away. That's the proper scoring in backgammon. Doesn't matter how many points you made, it's how many you need. Very aggressive cube, and it paid off. I really want to see that XG. Martin House said it was a small cube. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I didn't see that cube. So there you go. Good for Hans. Got to give him credit for that. It's a cube I would never have thought was a cube. And it was a small cube. Wow. That's what he said. It's on the... Ed agreed with me. He wouldn't have cubed there either. Here again, Ed and I, two heads they say are better than one. But every time Ed and I agree, it's wrong. We would make a horrible doubles team, Ed. One of us got to be right. Yeah, it was a small cube. But you know what? If you got a small cube, if you got a small cube and you're playing a player who may be the best player in the world or certainly close to it, that's when you're supposed to give the cube. I can't tell you how bad some of my cubes were against Mochi that turned out to work. The only way I was able to beat him. I gave a Kiko. I beat a Kiko, two-time world champion, in the first round of this tournament by taking a cube that I certainly shouldn't have taken, and I thought it was right against her. I thought I had a gamble. Of course, it worked, or I wouldn't be talking. I like this play. You don't want to get stuck on that ace point. You want to put some pressure out there. I like that coming out. The other reason I like coming out is I don't see another 6 I like. They are playing legal moves. Otherwise, Wilcox might have just waited till the move was over and decide whether it's to his advantage or not, or that checker to have been moved back, that he just moved back for him. So, and I really like legal moves at this level of play also. I don't like this play. I like coming out to the bar. He's doubling anyway. He would have doubled either play. He would. Yeah, race is close, but it's a pass. Coming out to the bar, I think you might get doubled less. If you don't hit that shot, or you get hit back, you're in the game. Okay. 5 away, 7 away. Will's got the advantage now. Not huge. Maybe 58% winning chances, something like that. 4-2, nice simple roll. Will's got 20 minutes on the clock and Hans has 8. 8's still plenty of time to make important decisions. But it could be a factor in a couple of games if he takes a lot of time, a couple more plays. This is a very bad roll for Hans. I don't know the play here. I think I slapped my 5-point. I think I play 13-5. It's not duping anything. You could slot your bar point, at least, and you dupe the 6s. I don't see anything fun to play here. But I like 13-5. Give yourself a chance to have an offense. Okay. 2s and 4s hit. 6s hit or cover. That's duped. 4s not necessarily. There's a lot of hidden covers here, and that's one of them. That's the danger of that play. But it's often the right play to come out to your opponent's bar. It's pretty clear right now. You come out. Yep. Fewer shots. Give him a double shot instead of a triple shot. And he hits it. No other 3. Hans is digging himself a hole here. This is not a good position for Hans. Got to like Will's position here a lot. Much more pure. Make the bar and it's goodbye, Jose. Bring the 3 in and split. Bring the 3 into the 5-point and split the back checkers. That's me. Split the back checkers. Yep. Come on, Will, make my play. Attaboy. This is what we call an impotent roll. Doesn't do anything. Boy, this is tough. He almost has to split because, again, the 8-point only has 2 checkers at it. So he makes it hard for Will to use the 8-point to make the bar point or the 3-point. So I think you have to split with the 1. Oh, Ed O'Loughlin hits with the 5. It unstacks. It keeps him from making the point. I think it's right. I don't like that 1. I don't like that 1 at all. I like the hit and I like the split. I don't know. I like that split. The hit, we agree. Okay, good roll for Will. Any 1 is a good roll. And Hans has to perform here. He needs something that comes in and anchors or comes in and hits, and he does neither. Yep. Watch this. Okay. Woolsey's Law. If I'm Wilcox, I ask myself, if I were Hans, would I take or pass? I think I pass. But even if I'm not sure, I'm going to give the cube. Although you do want to be a little more careful when you're leading. And Hans has showed some real guts in the past taking cubes. He's not a pushover at all. This guy knows the game. But I'm cubing here. He's got big recube vig, though. When you hold this cube and you're losing at this score, and you come back at 4, I think Will's take point is close to 33 or 38%. I'd have to figure out exactly what his recube take point would be. So that makes it an easy big recube, and you're giving him a real dangerous cube at this point, but I still think you're strong enough to give the cube. There he goes. He agrees with me, and look how he snapped it up. I'm not sure I was taking the cube, and he snaps it up. 6-4 points on him. Again, he better perform very quickly or he's in big trouble. Yeah, I was passing that cube. I can't wait to see XG. Anchor, and point. I know he wishes he passed the cube now. 6-3 doesn't make a point. I come in all the way. I think I play 13-4. Nope, it's time to get the back checkers moving while he's on the bar. Oh, he dupes 1s and 3s everywhere. I like this play. That play is clear. That's a big, good roll for Hans. That keeps him in the game. Reduces a lot of gammons. All right, I always ask myself, do I have a switch here? Do I switch from 6 to 1? Because you usually don't even think about it. I don't think you do here. Because you can play safely enough without it. You could hit loose. I wouldn't do that either. Steve Sachs, did you win your match? And a boy! Steve Sachs is still alive in the fighters bracket, and he can still win this tournament. My roommate, my good buddy. I'm really proud of you. And it's no surprise. He's such a great player. Love to see you in the final, Steve. Little update on the score. Sander is winning 14-11 over Nicholson. And Zednik won 17-6 over Dimitri Loy. Thank you, Rory. Rory Pascar here on the part of our team here. He's running the side events. Okay. He really went for it, and it worked. Most people wouldn't think twice. They just bring the back checker around. When your opponent's on the bar, that's a good time to start clearing points that are going to be harder to clear, especially 6 away if he comes in with any 3. So he's giving him the 3-2 voluntarily. He didn't have to. Okay. Coming in was very, very big for Hans there. Both saving the gammon and having a shot at winning here. All 6s and 1s are bad. Are there any bad doubles? Double 6 is bad. Double 5 is not going to play fun. I'm talking about for Will now, not for... So he's got some bad rolls here. He wants to avoid 5s and 1s. I called it, didn't I? 5s and 1s. Rolls them both. It's my fault. I know I caused it to happen. Blame me. James Painter, Simborg is an excellent commentator. Thank you, Jim. And I miss you from St. Louis. Used to come up to Chicago and play in our Chouettes. Really good, nice player, nice guy. I always enjoy being with Jim, and I appreciate the compliment. Okay, great roll, great clearing roll. Again, I would not have taken this cube, and I want to see XG. Although he certainly had play in the game, and Will rolled well, and he didn't. Yeah, it was a big play for Will. Okay, now he's just saying, I don't want to get gammon when he runs here. I'm just going to let him have his 2 points because 4 would be devastating. Winning a gammon is huge here. It gets you to Crawford. By the way, most people don't know gammon values at these scores, and I don't think too many people have them memorized. I know that great players like these guys and John O'Hagan can figure it out, and I could too in time. But I just have a simple rule of thumb. Anytime a gammon gets you to Crawford, it increases the value of the gammon by about half. So it's worth about at least 7 or 8% instead of 5. And if it wins you the game exactly, it's usually close to a 1.0, depending on of course, on the opponent's score as well. But knowing that it gets you to Crawford means that gammons are going to hurt you more than a normal situation. So without looking at XG, I would venture to say gammon's value, or the gammon cost for Hans, which is equal to the gammon value for Wilcox, is pretty close to 0.8. No 2. Okay. Pretty sure you stay here unless you roll huge. You stay and hopefully 2 high numbers. There's 6 rolls here. 6 rolls that leave shots. And then you have to hit it, but it's worth a try. Oh boy. See, he should have run, like I said. No, I would have stayed there too. He's probably going to get off by running, even after the doubles. So I would have stayed there too. It was straight to stay, but in hindsight, you always get scared when these things happen. All right. He saved it. There isn't a roll. That's why they're quitting. There isn't a roll that doesn't get off the gammon unless you play wrong. And nobody at this level is going to miss the play. Yeah. Ed was surprised that he hit with the 5. And it was a small take, according to Ali Seaton Berlin, my good friend from Turkey, and arguably maybe one of the best, clearly one of the best players in Turkey, maybe the best as far as his PRs are amazing. And Ali also is affiliated and works with FM Gammon, who makes really fine backgammon boards. Most of them I think you see on Galaxy are made by FM Fuat, Mate, 2 more good friends of mine. Turkey's full of great backgammon players and great backgammon people. And look at the tournament directors. Look at Arda here from Turkey running the World Championship as the tournament director. And Fuat runs great tournaments too. But thank you, Ali. I appreciate your giving us the information that it was a small take. Again, I would have passed. So I'm wrong. Okay, 3 away, 7 away. This is where I completely play gammon go and gammon save. If I'm Hans, I really take some more extra chances to try and win a gammon, and if I'm Will, I'll be a little bit more conservative. I'm more willing to give up 1 point and not get gammoned. So it affects both your cube play and your checker play, and the time to think about that is before the opening roll. The clock's not running. Go through all the permutations of the score. And I go one step further. I try and come up with exactly what is my take point and gammon value and his before the opening roll, before that clock starts. It sets the stage for the game. Do that every single game. Well, that's your 2. Your 3 is the slot. Do you unstack or come off the 5 point? I think I slot the 5 point, but Will likes to unstack the 6. I'd much rather make the 5 point, but unstacking makes sense. He can clear the 8 point and make the point. He can make the ace point and keep his structure. Not a bad time to leave a blot with Will's board, but he loses the midpoint, which I think Ed pointed out earlier. Once you have your opponent's 18 point, the midpoint is not as valuable. A lot of plays here. I'm not sure what's right. I think they're probably all close. I don't like this play. I like making the ace point, actually, and holding my structure. Not that afraid of getting hit here. That's not a bad play. Might be right. Okay. That's not so terrible to get hit. Not that good a board. A lot of return shots. 2s and 5s. There it is. 2s and 5s. Again, I said it, but he's not using it. He's not hitting. Especially at this score, I get aggressive and hit. Now, I'm not sure if I hit with the 2 or the 5, but I'm hitting. I might come in with the 2 and hit with the 5 for fewer return shots. Wow. That, especially at this score, I like hitting. I like being more aggressive. But again, I'm sitting here and they're playing. Fernando Newmark, thank you for enjoying the stream. Be sure and hit the like button. Fernando, the great player from Argentina, also a very fine teacher and a very good friend. We've had some nice times together. I'll never forget watching him win, I guess it was the consolation here in Monte Carlo. I was there rooting for him. I think you won consolation, didn't you, Fernando? What year was that? That's a big win. Winning consolation here is no consolation. Is no small consolation. A lot of prestige and money involved, and you have to win a lot more matches than the person who wins the tournament to win consolation. Great roll, big roll. Puts him right in the game in the race. Gets those checkers out of there. Not an easy game to bring home because again, he's stripped. Wilcox is stripped on all the points. He needs to roll some perfectas or not get hit. I make 2 points here. In case you get a shot. That's got to be right. Huh. Is that a good roll or a bad roll? I don't know. I guess that's a good roll. I guess I would take that roll. I wouldn't roll over. I'd take that roll. Pretty much ensures the race if you don't get hit. And you're probably going to leave a shot. If you leave a 6 shot, that's 17 numbers, which is a little under 50%, about 47%. Unless you roll doubles. Why would you? No, come on. If you're winning the race, you keep going. And he has to be winning the race. Why is he looking at this? Am I wrong about the race? You just keep going. You're winning the race. It's easier to bring home. Why would he do this? It can't be close. But Wilcox thinks about things that are beyond me. Guy's a genius with numbers and math and, of course, at backgammon. I wouldn't have thought very long about this to keep those 2 checkers going. Is it close? But still, when I'm winning, I want to be racing anyway. I don't want contact. I don't want gammons. This play to me seems so natural. The race is close. I guess that's the reason. Yeah, and if he stayed back, then Hans would not have been able to run with the 5-4. So there is that argument. He was worth thinking about. You can never fault a player for stopping to think, though. That's the whole point. Time may be becoming a factor. Hans's clock is down to 5 minutes. That's still plenty of time for a good player to go through this. He's counting the race now to see if he has a cube. All right, Ed, what's the race? Put you to work here. Don't just sit here.
66. 72. That's tough.
Uh-huh.
One,
It's close, okay. And you don't want to give close doubles when you're leading towards the end of the match. You want to make sure you have a solid double. You don't want to wait until you've lost your market, but you want to certainly have a solid double. You don't want to be giving 0.02 cubes. Well, when you look at the crossovers, the distribution, wastage, pip count, this may well be a double after this. Why are Will's hands on the board? Oh, is his roll? Okay, he's thinking about the cube here. Okay. $63. Eight pips, and the roll, and one crossover versus three. It's a gambling take. It might have been a pass. That might have been a pass. Yeah, it might have. It might have been a pass, and he snapped it up. Maybe because of the score. I'd have to really look at that. I think that XG might make that a pass. This is going to be a huge game. If he doesn't turn this around, you're going to make Will a big, big favorite in this game to win 2 points here and get to Crawford. It's very, very big. At Crawford, as you may know, when he gets to 16, when you're 1 point away, there's no cube for one game. That gives the leader a big advantage, where the other player can't double for one game. So this is a very, very important game of the match right here, and it's all down to luck here from at this point on. Although it's not luck whether hands took her past that cube. It was he believed he was right to do it and to gamble some. I have disagreed with a lot of cube decisions here, and that probably proves why I'm sitting here and they're playing. This is certainly not gin. It's anybody's game. That's not a great roll. Goes off the 6. Yeah. Any 6 is really nice there. Takes 2 off. That's huge. He's going to really have to... Oh, there it is! Wow! Wow! And he is going to have a recube that's very... Oh, nope. Nope. Excuse me. Did I say he was going to have a recube? If he hadn't rolled doubles, that would have been an exciting recube there, which Will would have to take because he would be favored to roll a 1 and 2 rolls. It would have been really an interesting cube situation had Will not rolled doubles there and not perform. See, I told you it was a pass. Look at this; they're setting up the board wrong. Wow, I need to teach the setup.
Eyesight.
Oh, eyesight formula? Sure. Eyesight is a fairly new formula that improved on the Keith count. There they are. Now they're figuring out how to set up the one. Yeah, if you open up XG, you'll see there's like 5 or 6. There's the Thorpe, Ward, Trice, Keith. There's a whole bunch of different formulas. And I know John O'Hagan. I've seen him over the board. I said, why did it take you so long to decide on the cube axis? He said, well, first I used Matusak, and then I used Keith, and then I used Trice, and then I used Eyesight, and then he did Justin for this. I mean, he uses them all in one. He uses them all. Yeah. But Eyesight's there for sure. Okay, it's Crawford now. And it's 7 away, 1 away. He can't double for one game. Makes Will a huge favorite. Do you all remember when Will was getting killed at the beginning of this match? Don't take credit for winning, Ed. It's because you showed up. Fernando mentioned that he won in 2015 against my really close friend Tuvia Felt. I was rooting for both of them. Tuvia, I haven't seen playing for much. I went to Japan with Tuvia, and he stopped playing backgammon because he wanted to become the world's best male Caucasian mahjong player. And I think he succeeded. He may have gotten there. He spent a whole year in Japan just working on his mahjong game. I love Tuvia. Great guy from Memphis. From Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. This game could swing either way. Does a gammon matter? You always ask yourself that question. When you need 7 points to win the match, a gammon does matter because getting to 5 away. No, wait a minute. It doesn't. 10. Yeah, it only helps for the free drop. So really, the gammon isn't big here. Yeah, a gammon value is very, very low here. You just play to win the game. And when you play it like a double match point, and the theory there is just win a race. If you're losing the race, then you get creative. But just try to win a race. That's what Will's doing. A dance is not healthy. That is not healthy now. Makes the point. Looking very strong for Will here. 1-6. You have to come out. Got to play for some action here. A lot of shots. Oh, hit and point. I would say Hans has his back against the wall here pretty bad. Very strong position for Will. And he's going to make the 3-point and then look around for the last one, which he obviously comes in. I don't think you hit here. You're not. Gammons have no value to speak of, so you don't hit off the ace and risk getting hit back, but there would have been some merit to that. I would have thought about it. Now you just run. 1-3, 2-3. Double threes. You make the ace. You don't want him to anchor. A 1-point anchor game with some timing usually wins around 15%, so you wanted to stop that from happening. He's going to hit loose here probably because a 2-point anchor is a pretty good one too. I switch. Oh, you don't have to switch points. I would have switched points if I couldn't do that. This is yeah. How do you play this? Play safe, but that's the perfect bear off. Yeah, you didn't need that. There's another way to play it. By the way, if you'd roll low numbers there, you might have even cleared the 6-point. People don't even think about that. If you don't care about a gammon, you need 1 point. He's got 2 checkers in the bar. If he'd have rolled like a 2-3 or 3-1, you might even think about clearing the 6-point. Just clear from the rear. Very simple. Hope he doesn't roll doubles. Now, Will hopes he doesn't roll doubles here. Double 6, double 5, and double 4. All right, 3-2. You keep it even. That's it. Now it's all even so that nothing leaves a shot, and you hope your opponent rolls a 6. It's match over. Great comeback by the great Wilcox Snellings. Really exciting match at the end. What a finish. And Philippe Beyonce, my good friend from France, from Paris. Nice to see you, Felix. Nice to see you too. A lot of good friends here watching. It was a great match. If you missed the beginning, Wilcox was getting creamed. I think I really forget again what the score was, but he was 8-0, 6-0, 8. It was 8-0, 8-1, something like that. And all of a sudden it was 8-8. And Wilcox, it was just all uphill from there. And I think if you look at XG, you're going to find out that both players played very well. Hans certainly can keep his head up high. And by the way, he can still win the tournament. He's in the fighters bracket. And he still has a shot at winning. Lisa, thank you for thanking me, my good friend from Palm Beach, one of our Palm Beach